3, 2. And tonight, welcome back. All I got to say is welcome back to Paranormal Vantage Point with Bud and Brooke. Tonight, we got a great friend and special guest, Cheryl Carter, on tonight. So how you doing, Cheryl?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. So far, so good. Okay, so for everybody that's listening, we know each other on Facebook pretty much. So, but for everybody listening, would you like to go ahead and tell a little bit about yourself and what all you've been started with and all that?
Well, I'm a psychic medium, a remote viewer. I'm an author. I'm a freelance journalist for Paranormal Underground magazine. I'm a paranormal investigator. I kind of just do it all.
Okay. Because you're a member of MUFON too, right?
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Awesome. So what got you started? But I mean, what actually got you started? I mean, what sparked it? What sparked it all?
I was born this way.
I like that answer.
Well, it was. I just always remember this. Ever since I was 4 years old, I could see spirits and talk to them, and they're talking to me. So it just came natural. You know,
but I mean,
as you grow older, then you want to go experience places. Investigate.
Okay, right, yeah.
I had my first experience when I was 8. So, and then, I always grew up, my parents were like, monsters and ghosts and stuff, they're not real. And
yeah, they are.
Then I experienced something. And then when I got older, my dad actually told me that he had experiences when he was around that age as well. So I think that real. They were just, they are definitely real, but I just think at that young age, they just didn't want me getting spooked, but they definitely believe in the paranormal and they definitely support, what I do.
I knew they were under my bed and I didn't want to put my hand on the side.
Yeah.
They were there. They really were.
Right. Now, what got you started? I mean, like being an investigator though. So when did you start investigating the paranormal when you knew that you believed it was real and stuff like that? What made you take it farther?
Probably over 20 years ago.
Okay.
I just joined some friends. They were going to investigate this place, and then I joined somebody else. We go investigate this place. I was on a couple teams, but I don't like the team thing. I'd rather join somebody else, so you have like-minded people, because you got to have that certain energy when you're investigating at a place.
Yep.
If you don't sync with the people there, the spirits aren't going to talk to you.
Yep.
So if you're with the wrong group of people, no.
Yeah, it's usually just me and my friend Judy. We have more people involved in our group, but, we all live in different areas of Indiana, and, I met Judy at the Hannah House and we just immediately clicked, and still to this day, she's like one of my best friends. So you just get that connection with people, and, you can't lose it, because it is hard to find groups and stuff to, go and investigate with.
Well, I said you got to have the right energy when you're talking to spirits and stuff, because they can feel your energy.
Yep.
And if they feel something's off, they're not going to communicate with you. They'll just leave the room.
Yep. Yeah. I've only been doing this for about 10 years. Judy, however, she's like yourself. She's been having experiences since she was a kid, and, she's been in this for a very, very long time. She's a veteran. So
me too.
So, Bud, I don't know where Bud went, but he was talking about were involved with the Skinwalker Ranch.
I co-authored 2 books about Skinwalker Ranch. Yes. Very
cool. Did you have any pretty cool experiences to share with us, or?
The first book was called Digging into Skinwalker Ranch. It's all about the history. I wanted to know everybody that lived on the ranch before, because we only know about the Shermans, and I went all the way back to was it 1915?
Okay.
So got all the land deeds and everybody.
Wow.
And you know how they say, if you go there, something might follow you home. Well, I didn't realize that just when I remote viewed there that something could follow me home.
Right.
Because I remote view all the time, but
yeah,
nothing ever followed me. But here we're talking about Skinwalker Ranch, so yeah, something did follow me home.
Okay.
And I just felt like it was something interdimensional. It wasn't scary.
Really? What do you mean by interdimensional? Like, can you explain that a little bit more?
I don't think it was ever human.
Yeah, like humanoid.
There's many different things there. There's things up in the sky, things underground. I see 2 dimensions there.
Yeah.
With who knows what lives in those dimensions, but yeah.
Yeah, I definitely can see that with that place for sure. What's the name of your book?
That was Digging into Skinwalker Ranch, and then we did Skinwalker Ranch, The Basin Files.
Okay. Can you find that on Amazon or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I will definitely look that up.
Yeah. Or if you want a signed copy, I have some copies here.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I'll definitely put your links once we get the YouTube video up. I'll put your links down below and all that, and so people can find it. Again, I already said I would probably have trouble tonight, so
yes,
if this happens again, just keep rolling, and I'll be right back. Okay. So I think I had
You got a Chromebook, we understand.
Yeah, but I think we're fine now. I think because it seems like when I use the Ethernet cable, something goes wrong. So I went ahead and just unplugged it and went straight to the router. So I think I'm fine.
For now.
Okay, so what? Yeah, for now. So, what were you guys talking about when I was gone? Just out of curiosity. No. Talking about me.
Yeah. That butt.
By the way, since he's gone.
Yeah. No, I asked her involvement with the Skinwalker Ranch, and then she had just talked about her book, and well, you tell him, Cheryl. This is your platform, hun.
Yeah, I tell about the 2 books I co-authored and how I remote viewed there and something followed me home. Nothing special.
And she said that it was definitely not human.
Yeah, it wasn't human. No.
So, yeah, that place is definitely on my bucket list of places to check out. But
good luck with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody goes in there.
Really?
Yeah.
Because they're not allowed, or
right, you're not allowed in there. It's private.
Really?
Property.
Okay.
It's private property. You can't go in there. It's not like going to Waverly Hills. That's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah. I have been there. That place is pretty cool.
I've been to Waverly many times. Yes.
Yeah, it was definitely a very intense experience going there. But it was awesome, to say the least. What would you say is probably your favorite place that you've investigated, aside from your involvement with Skinwalker Ranch?
Oh, let's see. Have you ever been to Ohio State Reformatory?
I have not, but that is on my list too.
Okay, that is always fun.
Okay.
Very active there. I can't tell you how many times I've been there. Yes.
Yeah. So, have you ever been to Randolph County Infirmary?
Yes, I have been there a few times too.
That place is so active when I go there every time. So,
do you go down the basement?
So down in the basement, it's been active. Up on the second floor, over on the women's side, I actually seen a misty figure run into the well, I wouldn't really say run because it didn't have any feet, but it like just swooshed right into the women's restroom, and it had long dark hair, couldn't make out a face or anything, but it looked like it was just wearing a really flowy white gown. And it was right after we had just left Ida's room down in the basement, and we had went up there. And, you know, I'm usually pretty tan all year around. I have an olive skin complexion. I was transparent after I seen this. And it wasn't that it necessarily scared me. I was just like in shock, like, oh.
You were expecting to see that.
No, I wasn't. So I was like, that was a really cool experience, like a personal experience that I had there, because I didn't have my camera out. I wasn't, you know, ready, locked and loaded, ready to go. And it was just like, it happened so fast. But that's probably one of the coolest experiences I've had since I started getting into the paranormal field, you know, as an investigator. So, but yeah, that was.
Did the spirit talk to you? You didn't have your recorder going?
I don't know if my friend Judy had her recorder going out. Usually she has her recorder going the whole entire time we're there.
I do too, because you don't know they're talking even if you're not asking questions.
Yeah. So, and I was the only one that seen it. So that was pretty wild. It was, and then it's funny because no one had said anything about seeing anything like that. And I don't like to hear a lot of other people's, like, I like to hear some experiences, but not every single experience piled into one.
Be expecting it. No,
right. I'm going to be expecting it. Or, you know, if I have that experience, I could be like, oh, well, I already had that inside my head. So maybe I was just right. You know, I don't know. So we went back the next time we had went back, we talked to, he's the historian of the place, little short guy. And he had told us that there had been a few other groups that had been in there since we had left at the last time. And he had said that he had groups that had seen a white flowy figure running into the women's restroom on that side. And I was like, I looked at Judy and she was like, she's seen that. And, you know, and I never even told this guy. I didn't tell anybody besides Judy. And there was like a couple people from my group, but I know for a fact they didn't tell anybody. So that was pretty wild that, you know, other people experienced that as well. You know, that validated that what I seen was in fact real. But it was pretty spooky. I've definitely seen shadows there. I took my buddy Josh there one time, and it was his second investigation with me. And we were in the doll room, and we both seen a shadow walk across, like in the hall, like walk across the doorway. And then the ball outside in the hall moved, and no one's out there. And I like looked at him and he goes, did you see that? And I was like, yeah. But that's why I like also having somebody else there with me. And it's not just the scare factor of me being, you know, freaked out. It's if something happens, you want somebody there to experience that with you. So you can validate, like, this is, I actually.
That happens, you want somebody to be, you know.
Absolutely.
That happened to you, you know?
Leave no man standing alone.
I was going to tell you, did you know in that bathroom that a woman hanged herself in there?
In the basement? Are you talking about Ida's room?
In the bathroom.
Oh, someone hung themselves in the bathroom?
A woman.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
It's probably who you saw.
It's what?
It could be who you saw.
Possibly. I don't know, but I definitely seen something. So, but
you talking about Waverly Hills or?
No, Randolph County. No, Waverly.
Okay. Because I had to jump back on. So.
Yeah, Waverly Hills. I didn't really see anything. I heard a lot of stuff. It sounded like gurneys rolling around in the death tunnel. You could hear people talking. And mind you, we're on the top of this big hill. There was nobody outside. There was nobody inside the building besides us. And you could hear, it sounded like two people just having a conversation like us. And
did you walk down the death tunnel?
Oh yeah, we walked all the way to the bottom.
Did you have your recorder on?
So I had my recorder on and it was going. So we walked halfway back up and I put the recorder next to me. There's nobody next to me or anything. We get back up to the top and I still like have my recorder. Like I picked up my recorder and we get all the way up to the top and I go to like listen back over to see if we got anything and somehow it got turned off. So, and we're in the pitch black dark, so I don't know if something came up next to me, but it was pretty thick down there for sure.
I got so many EVPs. I just had it going as we're walking down. And there was a real creepy one. A guy said, "Turn and touch me."
Ooh. Oh. Tell him, buy me dinner first.
That's what's in the tunnel there.
Yeah, there was definitely some activity down in the tunnel. I definitely want to go back to that place. That place was really...
lot of shadow figures on what floor. Just going in and out of the rooms. You could see them going back and forth.
The fourth floor?
I could be.
Where the OR is?
Because you'll see them walk from one room to the other. They go back and forth. You can see them.
So if it's the fourth floor, that's where me and my dad were actually. He was like, "Do you see that?" And we were just looking down the tunnel, down the hallway, and you could see them just
they'll
walking in and
they'll peek out. Yeah, they'll peek out and look.
Yeah, and I was like, "Are you seeing this?"
Yeah.
And I mean, it was just like they never left. They're still there.
Yeah.
It's very wild, very, very wild, and. You know, I still ask my dad to this day, I'm like, do you think that maybe the dark was just playing tricks with our eyes? And he was like, no. Brooke, we both seen it.
Yeah. Oh,
I was like,
so many in that hallway going back and forth between the rooms. Yeah.
I mean, more than a few. There's quite a few of like, there was a lot walking in and out of those rooms. Mm-hmm. So yeah. And then I seen that and I was like, that's pretty wild. And my dad went with me. That was the one investigation he went with me with. And we had a really good time for sure. Bud, you keep popping in and out, bud.
Yeah, my internet's not doing well tonight. So that's why I'm saying, if you see me pop out, just keep rolling and I will be back.
We're having a good time. It's girls.
We're doing fine. Yeah. There you go. So just keep. If I pop out, just keep rolling. So, no. Oh, excuse me. No big deal.
So, Cheryl, would you consider yourself like a medium or?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you do readings?
Medium. Some people are psychics, but that doesn't mean they're a medium. Enough people know there's a difference.
Right. Yeah. I think that everybody's sensitive. I think that everybody's a sensitive.
Why do you say that? Just out of curiosity, I'm just curious.
So, one question I've gotten asked a lot, like when going on investigations, they're like, you know, what's your favorite tool to use, like a REM pod or a K2? And I'm like, myself.
Right.
You know, I mean, I'm one of those people that I can walk in a room and I can feel if the energy's bad or not, and I don't want to be, you know what I mean? So I feel like because spirits and souls, they, you know, feed into that energy, you know, like you said, if you're with somebody that's, you know, not good energy and it's not clicking right, that energy is not going to be good with those spirits. So to me, I feel like if you're walking in and, you know, you're open to everything, then any energy that those spirits are going to give off, that it's going, you're going to feel that. You're going to feel whatever you give, what you get. So I don't know. I mean, that's just how I feel about being a good tool.
Yeah.
Myself personally.
I remember we were investigating a place. It was let's say three of us women and the two guys on the team that I used to be on. That was actually a good team. It just broke up. But we were at this place and we took a break and we came back upstairs, and now the energy in the room felt different than it was. Felt really strange. I said, guys, does this feel different? No, it feels fine to us. All of a sudden, something reached in and was squeezing my heart.
Oh, no.
And it was nice and quiet before. And I said, you can't do that. I says, I didn't give you permission. I says, please stop. I wasn't trying to provoke. You don't provoke when stuff like that happens.
Oh, no, never.
And so it left me alone. So then the next person walked in the room and it started doing it to her. Oh, leave me alone. Get away, But, she wasn't saying it nice. And then the other one went over to the third person, started doing it. And I'm going, what the heck is this? And she's going, you just get off of me, get out of here. Okay, now she was provoking. She was provoking. So then the guy says, all right, maybe you girls should just leave the room and we'll see if we can get rid of this. So we had to go back down the stairs, and there was a railing there before you go down the stairs.
Mm-hmm. And
she was standing in front of the railing, and something told her to move over by the wall. And something picked her up. We saw it. Something picked her a foot off the floor and slammed her against the wall.
No way. Was this a home investigation?
She was provoking, see?
Yeah. She pissed it off.
It was trying to throw her down the stairs.
Wow. Was this a home investigation that you went, or
a lighthouse?
A lighthouse? Oh, that would have been a really nasty fall.
Well, not. It wasn't okay. It was like a captain's center. There was a lighthouse there, but there was a building where they.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Where they used to stay and stuff, like a club.
I tell you what, it'd be good. It'd be pretty cool to check out a lighthouse too. I've looked into a few of them.
I've been to many lighthouses,
Yeah, I feel like I've investigated quite a few places, or done like play and hunt places, pay to play places. But like Waverly, for example, you got to pay to play, investigate. Yeah. So there's a lot of places on my list. I've kind of slowed down a little bit because of nursing school. It is not within my budget right now, but I'm glad that I'm still involved with the Hannah House, and me and Bud asked me to be on the podcast. I was like, absolutely. And because he's more skeptic, I feel like it's good diversity for having a paranormal podcast, to have someone that's never had an experience and is a skeptic versus.
I call it abuse.
There. Oh, you call it abuse? Yeah,
just kidding.
So have you ever investigated a battleship or submarine?
No,
but it's on the bucket list.
So our friend Shane actually came on here last weekend, or not last weekend, the weekend before,
about 2 weeks ago,
and very cool guy, and
super good guy.
Yeah, he did you a big solid today, bud.
You're not. Well, yeah, he did. Great guy.
So he was actually talking about him investigating this ship, and I told Bud, I was like, we need to go check that out. Like, that would be, what was it called?
Oh my God, I totally forgot.
See,
I'll shoot him a message later.
What state was it in?
Michigan. Didn't he? I believe he said it's right off Lake. It sits right on Lake Michigan.
I'm gonna look it up.
On Lake Michigan, I don't know where that is. Not the USS Edson. That's up in Bay
What
City.
Was it a ship or was it a submarine? I think it was a ship.
That was a battleship. I've been there many times.
Yep, it was a battleship. Yep.
Yeah, that's in Bay City. It's not on Lake Michigan.
So you said you've been there before?
Oh, many times. And what was the one? I I investigated a submarine. Silversides, USS Silversides.
That'd be cool. That'd be
in
really cool.
Muskegon. Yeah, that's in Muskegon. It's on the
If
other
if those walls could talk. Oh wait, they did.
we were taking turns. Like there'd be 3 of us that go in, and then the other 3 would come because submarines got kind of limited space. And so we're sitting at the table trying to do an EVP session, and we hear somebody like footsteps on the metal steps, and we jump up and we go, "Who the heck's down here? This is our time." Yeah. And when we looked, there were 2 legs coming down the stairs. Just 2 legs.
Oh, wow.
Just 2 legs. No upper body, just 2 legs.
Oh, I got chills. That's
running
really
down
cool.
The stairs, and then they never quite made it to the bottom. That was kind of interesting. Of course, we had no camera running,
I mean, were they solid in color? Like, could you?
Yeah, they're just 2 legs.
just walking down the stairs.
Yeah, top part, yeah.
Wow, very cool.
I'm sure that wasn't a spirit. It was probably, just a little zip memory in time. I don't think it was a person there, but you could hear the footsteps.
So do you think that everything that happens on an investigation, because you just said like you don't think it was necessarily a spirit, you think that it was just something? Residual. Do you think that it was just something that was imprinted on the ship in time?
Yeah. If you hear people say, "Well, this happened in this spot over and over," then that's probably not a spirit. Spirits walk around,
Yeah.
If this same thing happens at this spot, it's residual.
Right.
It was a spirit at one time, but it's just like a little memory of them.
So more just a residual haunting than necessarily a spirit.
Cool.
Okay.
It's still cool. Yeah. It was them at one time.
Yeah, my friend Judy, she actually told me, she was like, I feel like a lot of people, they leave imprints on certain places. So, someone could not necessarily pass away there, or may not even be passed away at all, because she works at this hotel in Indy, and one of her jobs. She's a busy lady too. And she's been there for so long that there's been plenty of times where employees have actually, have said that they've seen her, and she wasn't there. She wasn't even in Indy. She was in her home in Muncie. So I thought that was pretty cool. And she's like, I know that I've definitely left an imprint on that place. I've been there so long. But yeah, and she's still amongst the living.
Someday somebody's gonna go somewhere where we were, and they're gonna catch us.
Yeah. And I'm not saying like it was like her doppelganger or anything, but like it was. People leave an imprint. It was just her energy. She was just she was just hanging out. So. Bud, do you have any questions?
No, but I mean, yeah, my internet is horrible tonight. But like I said, I know the problem. I just can't do much about it. Right. So no, but it's okay though, because we're still rolling. I mean, it is what it is. That's what you get for living in a small Indiana town. So
yeah,
that's the problem. I mean, I love living in little towns, and this is where I grew up, and the internet's the biggest problem I think we have. Okay, Cheryl, so back to the Skinwalker Ranch. When did you start kind of getting a big interest in that?
Probably when my friend asked me to write a book with him, because I didn't really know a whole lot about it. That's why I started a lot of research, because I wanted to know the history, because we were digging into it. And it was quite interesting to learn who all the people were, and I found photos of what they look like and stuff. They're just regular people living in this place. They came here to start a life, and they found something else.
Or something found them.
Yeah. Because I don't believe it's just something that's just started happening now. I think it's always been happening there.
Yeah. So you think it's continuously happening? It's not just something that just was an event. It's something that's still happening.
Well, you know, back then there was no internet to talk about all this stuff. You know, all this happened, and the neighbors. It's not just there. The whole basin is like that.
But you did your research.
Will tell you that they've had the same experiences too.
Yeah.
Something about that area. I don't know what it is.
So what's some of the history of Skinwalker Ranch? You know, I've looked into it a little bit, but I don't know too much about it.
Well, the whole basin area used to be Ute reservation. And way back when the government started doing land grants, and they started selling it to the white man. So
yeah.
So it's actually all native all along the edges, and everything in the middle is white man. So that kind of caused a lot of problem with spirits, I would think.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So, so it wasn't necessarily buried on, or it wasn't built on top of native land. It was just everything around it was native land.
Yeah, no, everything was native land.
Oh, okay. So they stole land. That's stolen land.
Well, the government sold it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay.
What they did, they owned all that land, and then Abraham Lincoln allotted so much to each native. Allotted their land to them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, kind of stole the land. Yeah.
That's crazy. So was it a family that lived there, or was it a few families, or?
Oh, there were many families through the ages that have lived there, yes.
A lot of people live there.
Do what? Bud?
There's been a few people live there, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was telling her I've done a little bit of
now. Like I remember when Robert Bigelow, like when Robert Bigelow owned it, and he's the big aerospace tycoon, and he was on Joe Rogan's podcast talking about it when he owned it, and his big interest in UFOs and all that. So that's how I knew. And then Cheryl, if you remember, we got a friend, Dave Rosenfeld, which I had him on the podcast. Oh God, it was over a year ago, and that was, and he talked about, because he's based in Utah as well, and he talked about when he started going out there, and that was a really cool interview. I really enjoyed talking to him. I really did.
I think that was way before Bigelow even.
I believe so. Yeah, I believe you're right. Bless you.
Thank you.
But yeah, like, but yeah, so it's like, but like, even was Bigelow the first the first guy that took it over?
No, that's what I was saying, that back in 1905 they started allotting the land to the natives, and then the white
okay.
There's just been all kinds of people that have owned it.
Okay.
Henry Lister, the McMillans and the Locks, Kenneth and Edith Myers, and then the Shermans, and then Bigelow's. I mean, there were many families.
Oh, okay.
Has there ever been any documentation or anything on words are hard. Leave me alone, bud.
It's okay. I didn't say nothing.
You didn't have to. Your face said it all. Has there been any documentation or anything on, like, anybody else way back in the day having experiences there at the ranch?
What I says, nobody talked about it until you get to the Shermans.
Really?
But now I have heard stories where all this stuff happened to the Myers too.
Okay. And
they probably lived there the longest.
So is there more than just because I've heard about the cattle and the skin and all that, and seeing humanoid figures there and stuff as well. But has there been anything else like tied into that, or
just like strange balls of light, which I've seen when I'm doing my MUFON investigations. You know, strange balls of light. I'm sure it's the same thing I'm seeing that they see there. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Huh.
Well, that's what I'm saying, that, you know, some interdimensional thing going on there.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Who knows what that is?
Yeah, when I read up on, when I first heard about it, the first, happening that I had read about was with the cattle. And I was like, that's pretty weird. I don't know how you...
all over out in the West, though.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's not the only place I've actually read up that, that's happened. So
not in Colorado, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, there's a lot going on out in Colorado too.
So I want to know, why is there cattle mutilations out west but nothing in the Midwest? We got a lot of cows too.
Yeah, I mean, why not here?
Nobody's doing anything to our cows.
Huh.
I just find it so strange.
Maybe the aliens like us better.
Is it all aliens, or some of it the government?
I don't know. That's why it's so interesting. Yeah.
It's a little of both.
Yeah. Could be. I'm open to thinking either way, I mean, you don't know. That's the beauty of paranormal, is you have no idea. You just have questions for days. I feel so bad. Bud keeps cutting in and out.
I mean, it is what it is. That's why I have a co-host, so Brooke keeps it rolling. So
I've been keeping it rolling for the past 40 minutes.
Again, that's why I have a great co-host.
He's got missing time, so
it's all good. It's okay. I don't mind.
Well, while you're on here, ask me.
So that's what I'm trying to do. It's like, while I keep popping in, it's like I'll hurry up and blurt one out like I got something.
And then I keep it going with her.
Yeah, like I'll ask a question, and I'll cut out, then you just keep it rolling. So that's what I'm saying. It's one of them technology problems. You can't do nothing about it, so just roll with it. It's all we can do tonight. So
yeah.
And it's almost like we can't even have Jason Snyder on. Have you noticed that?
Because
every time we try to get Snyder on, everything just goes wrong.
Every time.
I mean, it doesn't matter. It goes to hell in a handbag.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's awesome. It get to the point it's actually funny.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
okay, so Cheryl. Okay, so I'm gonna hurry up and get a question in. When did you ever have like a major UFO experience?
Yeah.
Okay, what was it like?
I was just driving down the street in town here in the daytime, like at 2 o'clock in the afternoon or something. And it was a clear blue sky, no clouds. And all of a sudden the sky just ripped open, and I go, what the heck? And this silver disc-shaped craft with a bubble on the top came out, and I go, well, is anybody else seeing this? No, nobody's looking. Maybe I'm the only one supposed to see it. Maybe I'm not supposed to see it. And it was like everything around me just stood still for a while. And I just could not take my eyes off this craft. And then all of a sudden, maybe 10 minutes later, the sky opened up again. It went inside, and the sky just sealed up like nothing happened. Now, was that a portal? I don't know what you want to call it. Could be. It was very crazy. That's when I started joining MUFON after that happened. I didn't want to think I was crazy. I wanted to think other people saw this stuff.
I've seen a UFO before. It was more lights though. It was like almost like 2 on top and then 2 on the sides, and then maybe a faint one in the middle. But it was like 2 little dots and then 2 big dots. And I seen it when I lived in Fountain Square before I moved to Beech Grove, and I was probably like 12 or 13, and it was like 9 o'clock, and I was sitting on the back patio area, and I usually would sit out there with my papaw, and he went inside to get the dog a milk bone or something. I don't know, just something. And when he went inside, I was looking up at the sky, and I seen this thing, and it just kind of was just hovering, and I was like, maybe it's a satellite. And then it started, moving around, and I was like, that's not a satellite.
So it was a triangle you saw.
Well, no, it was, so it was, well, yeah, I mean, I guess it was a triangle, but it didn't have like a point at the very, very top. It was like 2 off to the side.
Of a craft,
yeah. So it was very bizarre seeing that. And I mean, I've seen other ones since, not the same shape, but like balls of light that are just like kind of floating out, and I can't explain it, and I'm like, I know that's not a satellite because it's moving a little. It's not moving the way it's too big and it's too close. So but yeah, that one particular time when I was like 12 years old in the backyard, and I was like, Papa, he came outside, and I was like, you should have seen this thing in the sky. Yeah, it shot off. It was gone. I was like,
we're only supposed to see it, nobody else.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Take me to the mothership.
No, don't take me. No, that's okay. I will observe you from afar. That's it. No, don't take me.
I don't know. I feel like there's worse aliens on this planet than there is up there, maybe. I don't know.
I don't want to.
Never know.
No, I saw 2 at the same time. And I was the only one outside that saw it. Because it was like almost at midnight. I don't know, because it was like probably almost midnight when I saw it. And the thing about it is, I was inside my house, and I heard it, then went outside, because it was like a high-pitched squeal. Like this high-pitched noise, and I mean, it was driving my dog nuts. And I go outside, and up in the sky, I could see two things with lights, and they were like hovering simultaneously. And then all of a sudden, then they started moving towards, that would have been probably the west. And then they moved over, and it was right above my cousin's house, because she lived across the road. And it moved over above their house, and all of a sudden, within maybe a few minutes, gone. I mean, just blink of an eye, they were just vanished.
Yeah.
And there's no way it could have been a copter. There's no way it could have been, it wasn't an airplane. I mean, because they moved too slow. I mean, because they hovered pretty slow. It wasn't fast. And, and it wasn't a copter, because copters don't make high-pitched noises. So it was just, I mean, I'm not saying it was aliens. I'm not. Do what?
Can you do the noise for us?
No. That would make me like that would total make me look like a redneck. Yeah. Yeah, it was like, wee. No, yeah. I'm kidding.
I was scaring the dog again.
Oh gosh.
No, but it was just because it was weird, because I was on the phone when it happened, and the person I was talking to goes, "What was that noise?" And I go, "I don't know. It's coming from outside."
I think we lost him again.
Yeah, he's.
There's a glitch in the Matrix, but Bud keeps freezing. So, So what's the name of your other book?
The new one I just did?
Oh, this is a new one that you just did.
I just did a new one.
Ooh. Very cool.
Yeah.
I love that photo. That is really neat.
It's real stories about UFO encounters and abductions.
Okay.
Real people.
So you've actually personally talked to these people?
No, but I've done a lot of research and I saw a lot of their videos and I didn't want to just tell their story like people can just write a story in a book.
Yeah.
I wanted you to know what happens to these people after this encounter.
Absolutely.
You know, does life just
they
go
can't
on
they can't be right from it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Does life go on as usual? No. And nobody ever thinks about that. So that's what I was really getting into. And when you can listen to their hypnotic regressions, it's scary.
Yeah.
The stuff that happened to when you could tell a couple of the people in the book are military people.
Really?
And there they are in their hypnotic regression, and they're all freaked out about what's happening. These are military guys, you know.
Yeah.
So
I'd be freaked out too.
Yeah, you know, so I just wanted people to know life doesn't go on as usual after that. You are a different person after this.
You've been touched by
Yeah.
touched and affected.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I took my boyfriend on an investigation one time, and he was never the same afterwards because he actually he'd been affected. And to this day, I think that something was really attaching to him, and not in a good way at all. Great guy, very, very good guy, but he definitely changed, like his attitude shifted. And to this day, he still can't explain what happened, but, you know, anybody with experiences, whether it's, you know, with UFOs or, you know, with any kind of paranormal experiences, like if you've been touched, you're affected by it, you know, that stays with you forever. And then it, you know, makes you question a lot of other stuff as well. So.
And I wrote the book in such a way that I wanted you to feel like you were with them at the moment.
Awesome.
I've had
I will definitely be looking for that one too.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Say, I felt like I was right with them. I swear, that's what I was trying to do. You know, not just tell their story like you usually do.
Yeah.
That's the best type of book, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
because it's hard.
Will you show him the book again? That artwork is awesome.
Oh wow, I love that. That is totally cool. I'll definitely get the links on there so we can get that shared and so people can find it.
We'll promote you, Cheryl. We got you.
Well, that's why, you know, that's one major reason why I started the podcast, is so I could help promote other people, you know, and people that wrote books or artists or whatever, you know. Even like when we had Sabrina on, and she's an author. Well, she used to be a paranormal investigator too, but, you know, and so to get her, to get her book promoted. So that's why I love having people on here, so I can get the word out for them, you know, and stuff like that. Share have a conversation, share information, and, you know, and that's what I love to do. I mean,
well, and it's good to share your experiences, because then people will go, that happened to me and I'm not crazy.
Exactly. You know, I mean, even though I'm a skeptic, you know, but I mean,
he went away again.
Because I was just a week ago, I was just on a totally UFO panel that we did. And we were all talking about our different experiences and stuff. And there were people messaging me after that saying, oh my gosh, I feel so good now because these things happened to me, and it happened to all you guys.
You don't feel alone.
Yeah. They go, thank you for talking about this.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we did that. It was a fun panel. It was.
Yeah. Yeah. This has been fun, even though, you know, Bud has been in and out. I know you and Bud know each other fairly well. We've never met, so this has been very fun chatting with you for sure. You're a very interesting person.
I try to be.
Yeah. Well, don't be boring. Being weird is more fun than being boring.
Isn't it? Isn't it? It's good to be.
It is. It is. It makes people more interesting. So, oh, I had a question before, but like I had it going and now I can't even think of it. Oh, like, would you be okay with like doing like kind of like a highlight with one of like the chosen book that you wrote? You know, like what story in there, like what person do you think was like captivated you the most? Like what was probably your favorite story?
Well, the one that will just really get your heart, it was from the aerial school encounter in Zimbabwe.
Okay.
And this is where the spaceships landed in a children's schoolyard.
Oh, wow. So there was multiple people affected.
I think there was like 30 children between the ages of 7 and 12.
Did any of them get abducted or?
Well, I mean, they didn't know what it was, you know, so this thing stopped and these two creatures got out and one of them kind of stayed by the ship and the other one, they said it floated into the schoolyard.
Oh, wow.
And it would talk to them telepathically. And it showed them like things in the future. Like the ocean was dried up and the forest was all burned down and what's this mean to children? That had to be scary, you know.
Right, absolutely.
And so then you know, that was all over in a few minutes and they ran inside to tell the teacher and when the teachers came out, there was nothing there now, right? She goes, no, there's nothing there. She goes, you know, let's let our day go on as usual, but it can't. So now they have been totally changed the rest of their lives now. They can't go back and usual. That's what I said.
I wonder what it'd be like to actually have an interview with one of those children now that they're, you know, adults.
If you look on YouTube, there's a film called the Aerial Phenomena.
Yeah.
Okay, where was this at?
Zimbabwe.
The Zimbabwe incident?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes, I heard about that. I did read about that.
Yeah, he does have it. He did a big. It wasn't a YouTube. It was actual movie, but I didn't see it on YouTube.
I believe you're right about that. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Now, wasn't that Cheryl? Wasn't that the same one where they said they come outside and the people that were on the UFO were waving at them or something like that?
No, one was walking around the ship.
Okay, yeah. I read about this a long time ago, so I could barely.
Another one floated into the schoolyard by the children.
Right. Oh yes, I do remember that.
Wild. Ugh.
Yes, it's Brooke. Look it up. No, it is an amazing.
I said I'm definitely going to watch that tomorrow.
No, look it up. It is like, because I mean, the cool part about it is about that incident was there was multiple people that, you know, the school, the children, the teacher, you know, everybody witnessed it all at the same time, and it was in broad daylight. Mm-hmm. You know, so everyone had the same story. Everyone even, and if I'm thinking correctly, Cheryl, wasn't that they even, like later on throughout the years, they all drew the same thing when they were asked to draw it. They all drew the same.
It was like a week later because Cynthia Hyde was a MUFON member, and she heard about it, and so she went there with her photographer. What's her name? Gunther Hoffer, and they interviewed the children, and she had them all sit down the day before and draw what they saw, and so they're going around looking at everything, and they says, well, this looks a little different. And then they said, well, one of them, I think it was, this happened on Friday. And then one said, this was from Thursday. And they go, what do you mean Thursday? Oh, we saw a craft on Thursday too. So it had appeared. So a different kind of craft.
Right.
Before that was going along the power lines. So it happened 2 days in a row. But only some of the children saw that one. They actually took 2 of the boys that saw it, and they went out to this field where they saw it, and they found impressions in the tall grass there, where something had touched down.
Where something had, wow, like that's crazy.
The grass, yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to watch that tomorrow. Yeah, yeah, Sundays are my daughter's softball games. Mm-hmm. So I'm busy mama at the softball diamond, and then we come home and we are chillaxing the rest of the day. So while I'm chillaxing, I will definitely be watching that, because that stories like that are very, very interesting. I don't know, I guess it captivates me because I'm so interested in the paranormal and, you know, people having experiences and, you know, not feeling alone, you know, hearing, you know, other people talk about it. So there was actually an episode. So Unsolved Mysteries actually did a whole like big reboot, and there was this town, I can't remember where it was, but there was just a lot of different like abduction stories and UFO sightings like in this one town, and all these people were seeing and experiencing a lot of the same stuff, different stories, but describing the, you know, these humanoid figures that they were seeing, and you know, like talking about their abduction experiences, talking about seeing these UFOs. And I mean, their story.
They talking about the Brooklyn Bridge in New York?
No, I don't think that that's it. A lot of
stuff happened around there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I never heard of that one.
I don't think it was the Brooklyn. No, it wasn't. I don't think it was New York. I'm gonna have to look it up. But I guess if you, there's more interviews, and there was another person that was talking about it, and they were like, you know, none of their stories have skipped a beat, like, or changed a word, like it's like for word. Mm-hmm. Every time they tell their story or do an interview is the exact same.
They're not adding something each time.
Exactly. So, but yeah, that episode on Unsolved Mysteries, I mean, I was like glued to the TV. I was like, this is insane, you know? I mean, it makes me tear up because like I've always, you know, and even before I seen a UFO, I was like, there's got to be something else out there, you know? Mm-hmm. We can't be it. So the fact that I seen that, and then, you know, all these stories pop up, and a lot of them are really credible, you know. I mean, like I said, you know, their stories not changing. You know, they've gotten, you know, videos of sightings and stuff like that. Now, there's some videos that do look hokey, but there's some that are, you know, they're real. So I've actually seen some UFOs that have been caught on video that do look like what I've seen. So that's cool too. Let me see if I can find that.
The thing that scared some of these children was because, you know, some of the children were from America and some of them were actually from Africa. And they thought it was this little goblin that comes in the middle of the night to steal your souls.
Really?
Well, see, they didn't know. You know, some of the other ones knew what UFOs were. Yes, I mean, these kids were just totally messed up, you know.
Oh, yeah. Okay, it's called something in this. Okay, so it says, on the evening of March 8th, 1994, more than 300 calls flooded to 911 dispatch to report strange lights in the night sky along the eastern shore of Lake Michigan.
Yes, I know about that.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, it was, it's pretty intense, the story. I mean, if you ever get a chance, I don't know if you have Netflix or not, but it's on.
I wrote a story about that, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, but if you ever wanted to watch the episode, it's actually pretty cool, like hearing these people's interviews. So, but yeah, their stories haven't changed at all.
That's what my column is in the magazine. I write UFO stories.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What magazine?
Paranormal Underground. It's an online magazine. Yeah.
Okay. And so I'm gonna have to look at.
That's what I write usually, UFO stories.
Okay. I'm gonna have to look into that too. I'm definitely gonna look for your books. I don't have a lot of extra time to read right now because I have books that I'm reading that are like this big because of school. But if I ever get any free time, I would definitely give them a good read. Because that's the stuff that I'm into, that and true crime and
I'm always watching that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I watch that and then I go right to bed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's very relaxing. And
I know. I literally can sleep like a kitten after watching or reading stuff like that. I'm like, that's okay.
I want to know what makes these people tick.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm so fascinated with it.
So you don't have anybody that goes with you to these places? Do you have like a little group of friends?
I'll go with different people. Somebody will say we're going here, I'll go with them.
Okay, check it out.
Yeah,
cool. I can't even think of anything right now. I'm a horrible co-host right now. So you explained you're a medium. Do you do readings online or
no? What I usually do is I work on missing person cases. So.
Okay. All right. Any specific?
That is what I want to do. Other people want to do readings and they don't want to do missing person cases. Everybody has their own thing.
Right. Have you worked with any like police departments or anything?
Yeah.
Or yeah, very cool. Have found people.
Just so frustrated about a week ago. There was something on Facebook. I'll see stuff on Facebook about this. I guess it was a newspaper article coming up that this was a mother and her 2 children, I think, are missing. And the husband's not even concerned. He goes, she'll show up. There's your first red flag, right? We watch these.
Yeah.
And so I start seeing the area where she was. I couldn't pinpoint it. It made me so mad. I saw the area where she was, and I called the police, and I said, he killed him. Can't prove it to you, but he killed him. I says, and they're in this certain area, and it was like really vague. I never heard back. They gave me their phone number. If you get any more, call them back. But I didn't get any more. But
right.
But I kept seeing the word red. And I don't know if it was. I'm pretty sure it was on a sign or something.
That's what you're really strong for going through with that, because I couldn't imagine seeing or hearing information like that and having that personal experience. I mean, the fact that you're helping, I think it's amazing.
Yeah, but that just bothered me because I don't see anything else about they found in her or they're investigating. There's like nothing going on now.
Right.
How'd you let it go? I'm telling you, he did it. And he buried him in this wooded area.
That's so sad.
Who are we talking about?
What the word red means. I said, it's important. I go, it's not a color. It's on a sign or something, a trail marker. I don't know.
I asked Miss Cheryl, with her being a medium, if she does, any types of readings, and she actually said that she's helped out with missing persons.
Okay.
So,
and then she was telling, you go ahead and tell the story real quick.
Well, because there was another time that that I was going to visit my sister in Illinois, and there was a woman missing. And I saw that, and it's again, because you're looking through the person's eyes, okay? I saw she was in a hole in the ground, okay? So she can't really look up and see stuff all around her. That's the frustrating part when they're laying face down. And I kept seeing, again, the word water. Now, she wasn't in water. She wasn't by water. I saw the word water, and I said, it's very important. So I called the police. Well, there's no water around here. I said, no, I didn't say that. I see the word water. She's face down somewhere, and I see the word water right where she is. There's no water here. So he just kind of dismissed me. Well, about a week later, they found her it was a little country town. You know how they have the drainage ditches along the side of the road? She was in the upside down in the drainage ditch, right next to the water tower.
Oh, wow.
That is so crazy.
When I say a word is important, right?
Right, yeah.
So
totally.
This other woman with the word red is very important. It's a sign. It's so frustrating.
Now, being here in Indiana, do you know a whole lot about Herb Baumeister and the Fox Hollow Farm case? I've been wanting to dig in a little bit more about that because a lot of places people used to do paranormal investigations there because people used to say it's haunted, which I don't know if it is or it isn't. I mean, I've never been there, but the case alone, I've always been interested in it because I've always felt, well, he was never convicted. He was never arrested. And when they found him dead, they didn't find the gun, but supposedly a suicide note.
It is a very, very bizarre case. I've looked into it too, and I would love to go and investigate that place. But someone's living there, and I mean, they're not allowing people to just roam through their home. So,
what do they feel about the home?
I've actually heard from people that they still find bones on the property to this day.
People don't think there's anything going on in their house, or
oh no, I've actually had interviews, or I've not had interviews, but I've seen interviews where they've talked about it, and they have had, experiences, especially like in the pool area, because that's where he, did a lot of his, killings and stuff. He'd strangle them. So, but I think that someone else was involved in that case. I don't think that it was just him.
I know, because it's so many people.
So many people. I mean, he had to have some kind of help. But yeah, I've heard that, there's still bodies being found to this day on the property. So, and then some of the bodies, they're not even fully found, like, it's just partial.
Right. Well, because animals get to them and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and that's really sad because, the family's never going to get, full closure. They're never going to have their whole loved one back, So I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine going through that. But yeah, I listen to this podcast called Crime Junkie because I'm really into true crime, and they talked about it a lot, and just the evidence behind it. It seems to me, and I've heard other people say the same thing, that someone else was involved with those murders, and I can agree with that. I do think that someone else was involved.
Had to have been.
I think that there was two people for sure. So,
well, because I don't think Herb, if you look up his stats, he's not a very big guy.
No.
And there's no way he could have carried a dead weight to where he was. There's no way.
Right.
I mean, I know a lot of strong power lifters. Carrying that much weight at his size. And like I said, Herb was not a big guy. So I think if Herb had anything to do with it, I just don't think he did it alone.
No, I agree with you.
I mean, the evidence doesn't point he even died mysteriously. I mean, no gun at the crime scene, and he drove all the way to Canada when they found him.
Mm-hmm. Shot himself, but there's not a gun there. Like,
correct. There was only a suicide note.
Yeah.
It was.
Ghost Adventures investigated the place, right?
They did.
I believe so.
Hi, bud.
He's frozen again.
Yeah. Can you hear me, though?
I can hear you. Just so you know, we've been talking about you every time. Oh! Eddie's gone. He disappeared.
Oh my gosh.
He got abducted. Just kidding. I hate that.
Another dimension, yeah.
Well, he keeps cutting in and out. Would you be interested on ever coming back on and talking to us some more?
Sure.
Yeah. Me and Bud, this has been really fun doing this with him. I've talked and I've met, a few different people and interesting. And like I said, you are very interesting. I vibe with your weirdness, Cheryl. I like it. I can dig it.
He's back.
Okay, Bud, before you let you go away. That he was abducted, and she was like, he got sucked into another dimension.
I'm reporting live from the mothership.
Yeah. So I asked Miss Cheryl if she would love to come back on and talk.
Yes, we'll have to do this again, most definitely. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind.
We can have a part 2.
Yes. I tell everybody that. I tell everybody they're always more than welcome to come back on and because, there's still more information to share, and a lot of stuff to talk about.
Cheryl? Are you on Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay. I will definitely find you on Facebook. We could do, if you guys are down for it, we could always do next Friday.
Well, I'm not going to be around. I'm going to Illinois, so.
Okay. Maybe when you get back.
Yeah, we got a wedding, so.
Okay. Ooh, fun.
How can my niece be 27? No.
27? I just went to my niece's senior night, and I was like, I can't believe she's a senior. She's so beautiful. I'm like, I'm going to need you to stop growing. Quit getting older, because that means I'm getting older.
I'm not getting older. No. Nope.
I'll just jump into another dimension so I stay the same age all the time. Oh, gosh. Well, yeah, I think he's just going to keep... He's just going to keep popping in and out, so... Yeah. Yeah. We'll get all of this figured out. It's just going to be one of those things where, like, trial and error. We're just going to have to keep on messing with it.
He's getting a computer because he's using his Chromebook that doesn't.
Yeah, Chromebooks are not the greatest. I just had to invest into a laptop and Costco. It was on sale, and I really like it. It's a Lenovo.
That's what mine is.
And really, I love it. I love the brand. I haven't had any issues. It's it's fast. and it's touchscreen. So I thought that was pretty cool too. So, and it's exactly what I need for school, because those Google Chromebooks, you can't do the lockdown browser and stuff like that on it. So you can't do nothing with those.
Mine's kind of old. I look at them in the store now, and they're all so thin, and I go, but I still like mine.
I know. Well, the first Lenovo that I had, it was probably about like this thick. And now the one I have is like this thick. Like, it's not that thick at all.
But I'm looking at the price tag of those new ones too, so I'll keep this.
Yeah.
I don't have 2,000 just go spend on another one, you know.
Yeah, I mean, well, and I knew with me being in school and everything, and even after school, you know, I'm going to be using a laptop. So I was like, it's one of those things that's an investment. So I might as well just drop the money. You know, I need to get one anyway. So it wasn't cheap, but it was a good investment. I like my laptop. So, well, Bud, now that you're back, we're going
for now.
Miss Cheryl's going to get with us whenever she gets back from Illinois, and we're going to do another interview with her.
Yes, we'll definitely do it again. There are no doubt in my mind.
Like, you know, as far as this, you know, technical difficulty stuff, I was like, you know, it's just trial and error. We're just going to have to keep, you know, messing with it until we get it right.
I know what the problem is just right now. I just can't do nothing about it right now. Right. That's just all it is. I mean, it's just something I can't fix.
Right.
So I just got to wait get another laptop. That's all it is.
Right. So, all right, Miss Cheryl.
Okay, Cheryl. Before I get booted off, thank you so much for coming on. I highly appreciate this, and sorry for me bouncing in and out. But it's okay, Brooke kept it rolling. I know, that's what I'm saying. Brooke kept it rolling. So thanks to both of you for that. I mean, I appreciate every bit of it. I really do.
Yeah. Cheryl, it was really nice meeting you tonight. So, and I can't wait to talk to you when you get back from Illinois.
Yeah, have a good trip.
I'm gonna go visit one of my
Okay, well, I'm gonna. Where's that at?
It's in Troy Grove, a little tiny town.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
It's an old pioneer cemetery where my great aunt is, and it's very haunted.
Beautiful.
Ooh.
I like it. I love
cemeteries anyways. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and call it a wrap before I get booted off. So,
all right. Good night, guys.
Good night.
All right. Have a good night. And thank you again, Cheryl.
Bye.